So let's gain some grades right now from those questions, which is very easy to solve them. But you need to focus because they have some tricks right there. I think sound travels faster in water than in air. That making sense. Sound is the fastest at solid. After that, liquids, and slowest in the air. Here is the arrangement of the sound speed. Fastest thing would be solid. After that, liquid. After that, slower movement of the sound would be in air. I have also something to mention right there. When we change from one medium to the other, the frequency always stayed the same. But regarding the speed, it would change. And wavelengths regarding also the changing mediums, it would gonna also change. So from these 3 points, I'm gonna solve the question. Frequency, if I change it from one medium to the other, frequency stayed the same, speed will gonna change, wavelengths will gonna change. And I know if the sound wave are generated underwater, a small fraction can travel into air above the water. Which of the following combination is true for the sound waves as they move from water into air? So I moved from water to air. I know that velocity of water and sound in water would be much higher than velocity in air. So that means if I move from water to air, the speed will gonna decrease. My speed will gonna decrease, and this is the answer for the question. Let's see. I know that f is constant, and the speed will gonna decrease. So regarding this, I can say that the answer from knowing only the knowledge of frequency will gonna stay the same. I'm knowing that the answer would be C or D. It's impossible to be A or B because he said that the frequency will gonna decrease. These two answers wrong. So it would be C or D. So let's see which one. Frequency will gonna be constant, and I know that velocity will gonna decrease. So if the velocity decrease, I know the formula. What is the formula? Wavelength equals to velocity divided by frequency. So the relation between velocity and wavelength is directly proportional. If the velocity decrease, the wavelength also will gonna decrease. So the answer would be C. If you need to understand by putting numbers, it's okay. Let's say the first one, we're gonna say 20 over 2 for the frequency, I'm gonna get 10. And the second one, I'm gonna say 10 over 2, I'm gonna get 5. So as you can see, when the speed decrease, the wavelengths also decrease, and the frequency is constant. This is for question 17. Let's go for question 18. He's saying a 1 meter long pipe is open at one end. I know that I have two options right there. I have open at one end and closed at one end. And we have two formulas for this. Open. Open. The formula would be L equals to wavelengths divided by 2. And if it's closed open, the formula will be L is equals to wavelengths divided by 4. That's it. Let's read the question to figure out. He's saying a pipe is open at one end. So closed open right now, and closed at the other. So closed open. So I think it's very easy right now. I'm gonna say that I have the L, and he's asking you to find the wavelengths. Fundamental note. I have the length. I have the unknown is the wavelength, and I have 4 is a constant value. So I'm gonna say what? I'm gonna say 1, the length of the pipe, equals to what I'm asking you to find, the wavelengths, divided by 4. Cross multiplication and get the answer. So the wavelength would be 4 meters right there. This would be the final answer. It would be D. Easy also. Question 18 done. Let's go for the last one. It's a theoretical question. It's saying if the oscillations of an electric field in a beam of the light are along or are all along one direction, the light is said to be. Okay, let's mention the definition of each one of them. Resonance is related to the resonance. So it's not this one I'm asking you to find. What about the coherent? Coherent is same phase or same frequency right there. Same phase or frequency. So also I'm not talking about this one. Refracted ray which one? Bending wave. The light gonna move from one medium to the other, so it's gonna bend. So I only have one option, polarized. What is the meaning by polarized? One direction of oscillation. One direction of oscillation means polarized. Of oscillation. That's it.